All right, Stand Firm troops, welcome back to another Motivational Mondays. I've been loving the feedback. I'm going to keep this up as long as we can. I'm pushing out Motivational Mondays messages, right? And how to improve effective leadership, right? So, if you're just coming in, before we spoke about confidence, then we talked about courage and then character. And last week, it was about commitment. All right. So today, who can guess? Yes, you have guessed it. Communication. And this one is dear to me as well, right? Um, it happens in all aspects of our lives. Communicating. And I want to start by going into Proverbs 18, verse 21. And you guys may be wondering, why do I tie Bible to these messages? So just like myself, like many, we are not everyday readers of the Bible. However, this is an awesome way for me to bring the Bible to those who don't read the Bible on a daily basis. I can put the pointers together by bringing Bible verses and bringing everyday aspects of our lives into these motivational Mondays. So let's start with Proverbs 18, verse 21. And hopefully I can tie this scripture to this message on communication. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love to talk will reap the consequences. Let's read it again. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love to talk will reap the consequences. Right? And I don't want to break down the chapter too much. That's on your own leisure time. But I'll say that for you to give it some serious thought. Death and life is in the power of the tongue. Those who love to talk will reap the benefits, reap the consequences, right? That comes with talking a lot, asking for your want, I guess, right? Giving opinions, right? Giving orders. So, just depends on how you look at it. Let's focus on the message on communication today. So, communication is one of the most important skills that one needs in order to be an active and an effective leader. For me, this is challenging for me as well. What am I doing here takes a lot. For those who know me, what am I doing here takes a lot out of me, putting myself in front of the camera, representing the brand, standing firm, never fold, never bend. It takes a lot out of me because this is not my comfort zone. I'm more of a listener. I'm more of an advisor. I'm not too much on the talkative aspect. However, I feel like my message about stand firm has to be heard. And in order for me to be successful, I have to learn to be okay in front of the camera. I have to be okay in communicating and accept my weakness in communication and work on it. We are not always perfect, but we understand this. So for myself, stepping out of my comfort zone, right? By simply standing here takes a lot. But I know the importance, the value behind my message, and that's what I'm here today to share and hopefully inspire. Right? So asking questions and listening to answers, repeating yourself if you have to. So in order for you to have effective communication, you have to ask the right questions so you can get the right answers. Or you can understand someone's perspectives so you can have a proper communication. Right? So first, you have to be a good listener. You have to be a good listener. They say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. But in order for you to say what you have to say effectively, you have to first be a good listener, right? Sometimes it's good to even write down what you'd like to say to someone and pass it on as a letter. Whether it's a love letter, whether it's a memo at work, if it's hard for you to get across your thoughts, sometimes writing it down in a form of a letter can easily help make your message more clear and understanding. Sometimes as a leader, we have heavy commitment to a particular goal, right? And it's easy to take things personal if the people you are leading or the people who's on your team don't listen, right? So as a leader, if you have a particular goal and you would like to communicate that to your team, and your team is not understanding or not listening, yes, it makes communication a lot more difficult, frustrating, right? So sometimes it's good to start by writing down your steps, writing down what's needed to be stated, right? So, for example, a new business owner, maybe a new coach, a team captain, maybe a new parent, you'd like to bring across your message to your team, to your kid, to, your, to the people you're leading, but you guys are not committed to the goal because you guys are not following the instructions, you guys are not listening. It makes leadership, makes success a lot more challenging, right? Naturally, we are so desperate to win, it may become over jealous at times, right? You're working hard as a new coach, a new parent, but the results are not showing. You can become over jealous over the situation. Things might become insensitive, right? Insecure. Conversations might start to sound controlling. That either one of the party is not meeting the goal, or you guys having not having the right understanding, right? So here are 7 keys to practice effective communication, right? Among your team, whoever that team is, right? Whether it's your relationship, whether it's at work, whether it's in your household, here are 7 best practices to have effective leadership qualities in communicating. So, number 1, measure your words. And this is where I feel like might be one of my biggest weaknesses, if I should be complete transparent to the audience. Measuring your words, giving yourself time to actually think before you speak, especially in a heated conversation or in a fast-paced environment when you have to be on your toes in your response, right? So measuring your words, think before you speak, be quick to listen, don't be quick to talk, be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. So yes, I feel like this part is my biggest hurdle, my biggest challenge that I'm personally working on in my professional and personal career. So measuring your words, think before you speak. Number 2, focus on the positive. Yes, and this is where to play. Focusing on the positive, right? Be an encourager. Give them reasons to believe in themselves. So give your team reasons to believe they can accomplish that goal, right? You're your coach, you're down 1, you're down 2, still give words of encouragement to hopefully uplift performance, right? So upliftment conversation goes miles further than harsh criticism, okay? Number 3, Don't dwell on the negative. Yes, it happens, it will happen again, and there will be continuous wrongs and mistakes. Let's not dwell on it, right? Sometimes criticism is necessary. Make sure criticism is constructive with positive reinforcement. Good try. Let's go again. Right? You made a mistake here, but let's go again. Let's focus on the positive. Let's go. Right? Number 4. Get everyone on the same page. Don't send mixed messages by sending different messages to different people. Right? Nothing worse for a team unity than team members not having a clear understanding of their roles and how they are expected to work together, right? So your messages has to be clear. That's how we go back. Sometimes it's good to write things down, right? So that nothing worse. Number 5, open the floor. Allow others to contribute in ideas, discussion, and planning. Let it feel like a team. This way, the group will be more invested in the greater vision. So everybody feel like they have a role to play. Everybody is more willing to perform at their highest best potential, right? Number 6, observe, ask, and listen. It's always good to first observe, ask questions for clarification, and listen to the answer, right? So observing your team members to see where it's fit for you to engage. Ask questions for clarity. And number 7, put it in writing. Have a vision, a plan, make a plan for it. Write it down so that everyone can see what the plan is and we all can engage in that plan, right? So if we practice all these 7 best practices of having effective communication to your team, it will make a lot difference by first observing, asking questions, get clarity, speak before you speak. Alright? So welcome to another Motivational Mondays. Get your merch, stand firm if you want to support the building of mental strength. No weakness. All about standing firm. Anything that you believe that is for you, your passion, if it's not waking you up at night, you haven't found your passion.